as we are here now on Habitation Station for game number 2 of this best of 3, spawning in the top position, top left, I guess they're both on top, is the purple Zerg player who's up 1-0 in this best of 3 from Team Mouse Sports. It is VortiX. And VortiX, man, he played such a damn good game in that first map. Truly impeccable. Creep spread was solid, but man, does this guy have quite a journey to go to bring this match back. Our Terran player in the top right, of course, from Team Acer, it is MMA, who, well, I'm trying to think of the mistakes that MMA made, and there were a few fights that went really well for him in the earlier stages of the game. A few fights that just almost snowballed out of control, really, especially with some of the Ultralisks that had been left out on the map a few times. But, hey guys, it would not be a proper StarCraft 2 broadcast if someone wasn't lagging. It's actually in our contracts. But, yeah, I don't really know what MMA does. The map made it very difficult for him to secure that 5th base. That was really, MMA was constantly aggressive. He was constantly trying to do damage, and he was constantly trying to bring a lot of units over to VortiX's side of the base. But he could not secure a 5th. He could not get the economy that he needed to continue sustaining that production. And while he did kind of go blow for blow with VortiX, VortiX just had more stuff than him, and VortiX is even going to send out a quick drone scout. He wants to be able to see what's going on in case there's a 2-Rax. This is not a terrible 2-Rax map, I guess, but VortiX will still go with hatchery first. He's not going to do anything crazy, and MMA actually going hatchery. He's going hatchery, command center first as well. That's a build I don't know how much I like it on this map, only because if you're up against a Zerg player, and I guess this is something that MMA would know, having probably been studying VortiX for his WCS Europe matches, but this is one of those maps where if you're playing against somebody that might be willing to open up with a fast pool, even if they don't know you're going command center first, some Zerg players will try to sneak out quick lings against Reaper builds on any other map, but this is just one of those maps where I feel like the rush distance is so short. If you are against an aggressive player that might do something like a 9 or a 10 pool, you can be at a little bit of a disadvantage, but there is gas for VortiX, so we're seeing a different setup from him this time around. There's the potential for him to go for something along the lines of a very fast speedling attack. He can go for a Baneling Roach, pretty much whatever. That's the thing I love about VortiX. He is just a player that can do basically anything. Basically anything, actually. It's one of the things that I absolutely love about the way that he plays this game. Actually, we saw some pretty neat play from him in yesterday's matches versus Todd. If you guys missed those VODs are already online, so you can check them out. I think they're linked in the channel page. So VortiX has his first few lings out, and we're not seeing any deviation from MMA compared to his first game yet. So this is I guess the most interesting part, is that there's the potential for something weird from VortiX. Actually, I just realized he is building a Roach Swarm. I was like, wait a second, he has over 100 gas. He hasn't started Zergling speed. He only made like 1 or 2 lings. So that's a little bit interesting. MMA has an SCV here, looking to get his next depot up very quickly, I assume, and he wants to pick off this Overlord Scout. And VortiX might see that these Marines are out and just try to get a read on what's going on here. And he will maybe get up the ramp. No, okay, he's just going to back off. He just wanted to check the natural, and he actually pokes this SCV. That's a little annoying. Overlord picked off. So VortiX, like I said, guys, he could do almost anything, and he is a man that likes roaches. Not necessarily every game, but when you're up 1-0 in a best of 3 like this, sometimes there's a great opportunity to just throw everything that you have at your opponent and just, try to kill him, right? This game in particular is definitely got to be comforting for VortiX. If he wins this map, he goes up to the round of 4. He's guaranteed at least $300. The prize pool doesn't really get big for this tournament until you hit 3rd place. So he still has a little bit more ways to go if he wants to get the big money for this cup. But sending out another SCV to see what's going on. And this SCV might actually find some interesting stuff for him, because MMA has also mixed up his build. He's not scouted anything that VortiX has done, but he's decided to go for a very fast Widow Mine off of this factory, not even putting it on the reactor, and getting a quick tech lab for potential concussive shells. And this he has not seen. I don't think he saw any of these roaches. This is an interesting play by him. I guess he just... Did he see was it something like the third base? He's scared that there's going to be an attack. Anyway, MMA has a solid defense set up for this. Oh, he pokes out with the Marine. Now he sees. His stim is on the way. Widowmine helps pick off one of the roaches. And MMA, he's just repairing away. He's having no difficulty at all holding off this assault. He will lose some SCVs, but his third command center is coming in. He still has mules. And this attack from VortiX has actually left him at an even number of workers. If you look at the workers tab, right, he's killed 7 SCVs, sure, but there's still only 33 drones in total for VortiX. He's making 8 at a time now, but, you know, you can't, that doesn't change much because he still has mules, so that's extra income by default. And these roaches are still poking. He sees that some of the Marines left the bunker. You look at a few more workers. That's quite nice. This drop is moving out with 2 mines and 4 Marines. Does VortiX have anything at home to defend against this? Just queens for now. Actually, just queens. That is... Well, this could get a bit tricky. Does VortiX realize what's happening here? If VortiX also taking the gold base at the same time, drops 1 mine in the mineral line. The queen and the drones are trying to pick it off. Oh, is he going to get it? Just a single drone. Drops into the natural as well. This Widow Mine gets a single drone. But it's just a queen, and Medivacs can help heal these Marines more than enough to take these units out. He's building a Spore Crawler, but that might not be enough. Loads the Marines up. He's going to drop behind and say, yeah, man, you want to pull your drones to fight Marines? Sure, go for it. Have a ball. The lair isn't even done yet. And the cool thing is that because MMA has this Widow Mine, he knows that there's no lair yet. So there's no level of serious tech coming out. And he still knows that there's that gold base. So this Viking, he could pick out some of these Overlords as well. But he could send out a second attack to the gold base, since he's kind of just pulling him every which way now. The Widowmine actually gets another drone or two, it seems. Picks off an Overlord in the, well, I guess what would have been the normal third base for this matchup, as VortiX has cleaned up at least a mine in his natural. It's something, but roach speed begins, and it looks like VortiX is going to play very heavy roaches as this gold base completes, and I wonder what MMA is going to do next. He has, where's the starport? Okay, so it's like that's a really weird position to put a starport for a Terran. But this Viking's actually managed to get 2 kills so far. A third kill would be pretty damn nice. Yeah, this thing is more than paid for itself. And VortiX, there's actually still this medevac on the map, and now he has stim. 1-1 is on the way. No evolution chambers yet for VortiX, so there's a serious threat here for the Zerg player. The longer this game goes on, the more I'm going to fear for him. And I almost wouldn't be surprised to see him just try to spam out a bunch of roaches and go for maybe an attack with Banelings, because he's going to be so far behind in the late game if he doesn't get evolution chambers. Now the gold base is mining. MMA knows 100% that there's drones there, and he's going to move out to take his third base, opting not to take the gold. I think it's an interesting decision not to take the gold for VortiX. For MMA, since he knows that VortiX has it, and it would give him a good siege position, but MMA would rather just place a little bit more passively. He's going to build siege tanks, and I love tanks against Zerg, especially on this map, when you can just park them. I guess I should say I love tanks on habitation stations. It's one of those maps where they can be useful in almost any matchup, if that gold base ever becomes a part of the game. But combat shield coming close. 1-1 is very close. Armory on the way. Still no evolution chambers for VortiX. These roaches are going to die so quickly to this bio once these upgrades complete. This might be the only timing available where MMA does not want to fight VortiX at all. The roach speed is done. He doesn't have his 1-1. It's right before those upgrades complete. He doesn't have that many medevacs, and he's going to stim back. He realizes that he might be in a bit of a tough spot here. Siege tank is sieged. Gets a nice shot off on the roaches. Cancels one of the bunkers. There is still another bunker by this third base. He's taking some of the gas here as well. It's funny because you need that gas at the third, taking both geysers. You need that gas very quickly if you want to build siege tanks in Terran versus Zerg. It's so important. Most Terran players, you usually go by the cheap Widow Mines, but since the Widow Mines take the same amount of time to build as a siege tank, sometimes you can forget that even though the production timings kind of sync up, you really need to focus on the gas income with this setup. And now the roaches come in from both directions. The siege tank, there's nothing really clumped up. Second siege tank at the natural will prepare itself, but 1-1 is done for MMA, and he's got that stim to bio. He has the medevacs now. He has the tech, the upgrades, and the infrastructure that he needs to defeat this force. Even repairing the siege tank. VortiX taps out. GG MMA. MMA picks up game number 2 in this best of 3 to secure himself a 1-1 tie